the block, hopped in the phone and pushed the top back. I've been hustling for a long time and I can't stop that. Big like I'm Nick, best believe it, and them all back. Yeah, I be ballin' all the time. I'm point guard and a quarterback.
Welcome back to another Sports and Culture 101 interview. These are called our player spotlights. And as always, all of our interviews are brought to you by the Carolina Law Group. You see the logo in the upper right-hand corner. The Carolina Law Group, one of the best law groups there is here in the upstate. Make sure you get your free consultation today by going to www.thecarolinalawgroup.com. And if you want to jump in on the chat line or comment if you have any questions for myself or Austin, you can do so at the Hagler's chat room. I have with me today I would like to say friend of the family because I love his parents. He is going to let us know about the sport lacrosse. For those who may not be familiar with the sport, we're going to get in tune with it today. Formerly of Greenville High School, he's going to be graduating soon, going and attending to North Greenville University. I have with me today Austen Cummings. Austin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
My pleasure. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I always like to start from the beginning with all my interviews. So at what age did you pick up lacrosse, and what was it about the sport that kind of drew your interest?
I would say I was around 6 years old, first grade. I saw a sign that said like try lacrosse, and I was like, I might as well do that. I have nothing else to do right now. So I tried it, went home and watched some videos on it. I liked how fast paced it was. I like to be running and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed how fast it was and how I could use my athleticism to be great at it.
Yeah. Were there any other sports that you were interested in growing up?
So I played a lot of sports. I played basketball, football, soccer for a little while, baseball. Tried a little bit of golf, so I was very active in the athletic world, I'd say.
So I would say out of all the sports that you participated in, and I know these questions are kind of off the cuff, what was it about lacrosse that kind of separated itself from all the other sports?
Right, so I'd say just how much it included every sport I've ever played. So I say lacrosse is a big mix between football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and really includes all those in one. So I really just like how I can incorporate things I learned from other sports and put it into lacrosse. And just how different it was. Nobody else played it that I knew. So I was like, I might be the first one to do it. I might as well. So, yeah, I just liked how different it was.
Yeah, and I mean, with that, and I know we have like when you decided to take up the sport, like what was just from what you're saying, like nobody else was kind of interested or doing it other than yourself. Mm-hmm. What were your reaction from your peers and your parents when you told them, I'm going to be a lacrosse player?
I mean, obviously they had never heard of it, like not even heard about the sport, or my peers either. So, I mean, they were really supportive. They were like, you go do what you want to do. I mean, we'll always support you. And it was really welcoming to know that people that I knew, my parents were really welcoming and really supported me through everything. So they did, like I said, they didn't know anything about the sport. I didn't either. I just tried it. But they were really supportive, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, so like starting off, with a brand new sport, you're in a brand new world. It's kind of like switching jobs, switching careers for some.
Right.
What was that experience like? Was it a lot tougher than you thought, or just being a natural athlete, did it come kind of naturally?
I mean, obviously at first, I wasn't the best at the sport. I joined a league called the Greenville Road Warriors, I think. No, Greenville Brigade is what it's called. It's been a program for a while. So I joined as a new athlete. I wasn't the best, but I used my athleticism, like I said, just to really help me grow and help me become a better player. I always grew up with a lot of great hand-eye coordination, and lacrosse needs hand-eye coordination to be good at it. So I really used that to my advantage and just helped it impact my game.
Absolutely. And for those that may not be familiar with the sport, can you explain exactly, what lacrosse is?
Yes, like I said again, it's a mix between just about any sport you can really think of. It's like football in the field. It's like a 110-yard field, so it's a big green field. Hockey, you can go behind the goal, so that helps out. Soccer, we have three positions. We have defense, attack, and midfielders. So like soccer has midfielders, strikers, and defense. I play attack, which is a position where I score the ball a lot. I get to score, which is very fun. I'd say it includes the physicality of hockey as well. We can hit each other very hard. We put the stick at 3 feet long, and we can just basically hit each other with it as much as we want. So it's very physical. I'd say it's the best I could explain the sport. It's very difficult to understand if you haven't watched it before.
Right.
But I encourage everybody watching now to go out and watch the sport. It's on TV right now, actually, the college playoffs. So I encourage everybody to go watch it.
Yeah, and I mean, the popularity of lacrosse is growing. I remember at least 4 years ago, I was working somewhere, and when I was thinking about actually starting this company, this guy was like, "Man, you should cover lacrosse." And I remember like, I should cover what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he was like, "No, lacrosse is fun, man. You need to watch it. You need to check it out." And I did watch a couple of games, and I mean, I was entertained because I just like physicality.
Right.
But with that, and especially, I'm not sure if your parents maybe came to you, but a lot of parents are always concerned about safety. Safety is always first.
Right.
That's why the youth football is starting to get a lot of flack right now because safety is being implemented.
Right.
What are some of the safety precautions that they do in lacrosse since you guys are hitting each other at a pretty fast compact?
Right. So, I mean, obviously there are penalties. You can't just go out there and run into somebody. But we have pads. We have shoulder pads that cover from our chest up. We have helmets that have face masks on them, elbow pads, and gloves. So those kind of help out a little bit. Like I said, there are penalties. If you hit somebody too hard, like if you're just hitting them with the stick, they'll throw a penalty. And if you hit somebody from the neck up, there are penalties for that as well. And they'll go as far as throwing somebody out of the game, ejecting them if they hit somebody too hard. There have been a couple of deaths because of people getting hit in the head too hard. So they try to make as many rules as possible to make sure that doesn't happen. Also, recently, they came out with a new rule. We have to get new shoulder pads. They have a heart meter in them or heart detector in them.
Oh,
so if
awesome.
a ball comes and hits you in the chest, you won't like pass or anything like that. So that's a new rule that everybody has to get a chest pad. So that's very nice. I've been hitting the chest multiple times. It does not feel good at all. So I'm glad for that.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome, and that is something that's not even in football right now.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to research that and see if I can get that post out.
Right.
Like, so with lacrosse, I know there's a lot of myths. Someone came up to me, I would probably say about 2 months ago when we was talking about the sport. They was like, lacrosse, that's a rich kid sport. What are some of the myths that you hear that are absolutely false about the sport?
First off, when I first started playing lacrosse, I would say it was kind of a rich kid sport. Not many of us were playing it. But recently, as the game has been progressed, I've seen a lot more of us out there playing, and it's really grown a lot here in Greenville, South Carolina specifically, and throughout the country. But some other myths that I know of, I've heard people say lacrosse was a soft kid sport. People were soft, which that couldn't be further from the truth. We get beat up literally with a stick the whole game, which that doesn't make sense to me. But I say those are the main two that I hear a lot. But like I said, this game is really improved, and they tried to do a great job of diversifying it. I've seen multiple kids that play with me specifically. They're also Black or Hispanic or Asian. So that's been really nice to see it kind of diversify itself.
Yeah, and also kind of to go off with the hits, I know like in the NFL going all the way down to the youth, they have the heads up program where they're trying to teach kids to hit more. If you're hitting the chest, keep your heads up to prevent a lot of head and neck injuries.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of those things that they do for you guys in practice that will further prevent injuries or at least, I guess, lessen the impact of the hit?
Right. So I'd say from a very young age, they teach us like keep your hands close together and hit somebody, so you're not hitting them with the stick right in the neck. They teach us just all the basic rules as a really young child, so that we kind of just have that implemented in our head. Some programs they have, I mean, really, it's just you learn the rules when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
and you really just remember those throughout your whole career. You don't want to go out there and hurt anybody. It's not anybody's intentions, but it does happen. So we kind of have to learn those rules as a young child and just try not to hurt anybody as much as we can.
Yeah, and a quick shameless plug, right quick. If there are any injuries, be sure to contact the Carolina Law Group. Make sure that they represent you for all injury causes.
Yes, sir. Do that.
Yeah, www.thecarolinalawgroup.com. Describe like it's game day. We're gonna go into the mind of Austen right quick.
Yes.
So it's game day. You're getting ready. You have a nightcap game. What are some typical things that you like to do? Do you have a routine pregame meal, music? What does that build up like for you?
Okay, so normally as a senior at my school, we get out of school at 12 o'clock. So me and a couple of the guys on the team will go out to eat lunch. Just kind of like talk about the game, what's going to go on, kind of calm ourselves down a little bit. So that's always fun. Also, pregame rituals. I like to listen to music. It doesn't really matter what it is, but I like to have my headphones on, just kind of dial it in a little bit, get focused. For every game, no matter what, I wear a white leg sleeve on my left leg. I wear white socks, and I always keep a thing of chapstick in my pocket while I play. I had one game in the summer one time. I had chapstick in my pocket, and I played like amazing. Like, it was the best game I ever had in my entire life. So now from now on, I just do that all the time. Those are the main rituals that I have. But the chapstick one kind of sticks out because like nobody does that.
Yeah,
but it's amazing.
Like that.
It's amazing. I do it all the time now. I wear it every single game. I played great since then. So
yeah, people will be amazed with those sports superstitions. It
yes.
may seem small and
But
crazy to most, but it works.
It works.
Works every single time.
It does.
I know that this is not, I guess, sports, but I just feel like if I don't write down my questions, and like for every interview, they're never written. I have a copy typed out, but if I don't write it down, I feel like the interview is going to suck because writing stuff down helps my memory, helps my muscle memory, and that's just one of the weird superstitions I have because one of my first interview, I wrote down all my questions and it went great.
Right.
I said I'm going to write every single question going forward. And sports related, when I used to play, if I didn't have a headband on, I wouldn't step on the court.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. So I understand the chapstick reference.
Yeah, it takes one time for it to work, and from then on,
do stuff
every time.
Now, music-wise, is there a favorite genre of music, favorite artist, group that you like to listen to before the
I'm
game?
a big fan of old school hip hop. So from the 90s and 2000s. I love Kanye West. He's my favorite artist. I know he's very controversial, but his music really gets me hyped for the game. Group wise, I like NWA.
Oh,
yeah, I'm a big throwback hip hop guy. My dad really put me on that when I was little. So
man, you are gaining some brownie points today.
I hope so. Favorite song? I'd probably say International Players Anthem by Outkast and UGK. I love that song. I love that song.
This is no lie. I was literally just singing that song before the interview started.
Great song.
When I went to go get some water, because me and my wife was talking about Andre and his kid, and when we got finished with the conversation, that is the song that popped up. That's one of my favorite songs ever.
It's my favorite song ever. Great song. I love it. I love it.
Man,
It really gets me hyped. The beat feels so good. It gets me hyped up. I love it.
We here, man.
Yes.
We are here.
We got it.
Now, high school career is officially over at Greenville High. What was it about North Greenville that attracted you the most and decided this is where I want to extend my career?
Yeah, so my high school team, we were all really close. We bonded really well. We're like a family, basically. I saw that in NGU a lot. I went on a campus tour there. The guy that was my tour guide, he knew every single person he saw there by name, and they greeted him as well. I love how they were so close and bonded together. Coach Struss, the main head coach at North Greenville, he did a great job recruiting me. He texted me all the time. He just had a kid, by the way. He just had a daughter. And he still went out of his way to text me every day, ask me how I was doing, how the season was going, He came to all my tournaments as far as
Awesome.
Delaware, drove all the way to Delaware just to see me play. He really made sure that I was included in everything and that I knew that I had a safe home at NGU. He didn't rush me into anything. He let me take my time with my process, and I'm really appreciative for that. He did a great job.
Now, the guy that gave the tour, was his name Robbie?
His name was Lance, I believe.
Lance. Okay, I don't
Lance,
know.
yeah.
We do a lot of coverage for the football team, and we're going to be picking up women's basketball as well. And
Okay.
Robbie, I think, is the athletic director and does a lot of the social media for the school.
Okay.
If you get a chance to meet Robbie, he is a awesome individual.
I've heard that name before. I think he takes pictures too, I think.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of guys on the team now at NGU, like, if you need pictures, ask him for some because he's really good at them. So,
Robbie, that's the man you want to talk to.
okay, I'll do that for sure.
Mad cool. Love Robbie.
Okay, I'll do that for sure.
So, family, and I know we talked a little bit earlier, and if anybody missed it earlier, your mom and dad were my first customers at my shoe store. And we always I mean, it's been for years, and they would always come back and be like, man, we bought shoes from you when, our kid was a little baby and they ain't so large. I'm like, hey, that is awesome. Two
Yeah.
of the most genuine people you ever meet, like absolutely amazing individuals. Can you talk about how or just what type of impact they've made on your and your sibling lives thus far?
Yes, my parents are wonderful people. I love them to death. They did a great job teaching me that I can do anything I wanted to do if I put my mind to it. They also went out their way to make sure me and my siblings went out and did different things, not the same thing everybody else does. So for me, obviously, I play lacrosse, which is pretty different. My other siblings, Dimmer Luke, the middle child, he plays baseball and is on the band at school. He wants to do band through high school and college, so that's for him. My youngest sibling, Kenan, he plays basketball, football, baseball. He tried golf. So he does everything. He loves to ride bikes. He's just really different. We're all very different compared to our peers. They did a great job implementing that at us to make sure that we always had a path we can go down. It's not just football or basketball that everybody else does. So I really appreciate them for that. Without that, I wouldn't be playing lacrosse right now. I wouldn't be here right now. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm grateful for them.
Absolutely. Now, kind of before we get to the last question, I love, throwback type of stuff. Let's say a 10-year-old Austen came up to now the North Greenville Austen, and they wanted to get into lacrosse. You being a veteran of the game now, what would you tell a younger self what to look in for, how to prepare, and what to expect?
I would just tell them not to be scared. Me going out there, a deer in headlights, no idea what sport is, like I said. I tell them just be confident in himself. Like I said, I was really one of the only African-American kids out there playing at that age. So I just tell him to just be confident in himself, try something different. It's good to try something different. And just, like I said, be confident in himself.
And lastly, everybody at one particular point is going to have to hang them up. So when you're all said and done and you have to hang up your cleats and the jersey is hanging on the wall in your home, what are you looking to do after sports?
Okay, yeah. So I want to be a sports attorney, which is basically just writing contracts for athletes, managing them in some ways. That's the basis of it. So for that, I have to go to law school after 4 years at NGU, which I really look forward to. I've always wanted to be in the law field in some way. I look forward to that. Also, I want to help out in the community with lacrosse, whether that's going back to my old high school and helping out coaching there, helping the kids there, whether that's going back to my old club team and helping out there, whether that's training other players to be better. I could be that too. Those are the main two things I really want to get into after college. Like I said, I just want to help out other kids that were like me growing up playing lacrosse, help them see how good the sport really is and how great it really is.
You know what, Austin? I can absolutely see that. I can picture that, and I know that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure we're going to be around by the time, you graduate and finish those additional 4 years. So I'm going to remember this conversation. We're going to follow up, and I would love to have a sports attorney type interview to give me to go over access and I guess the complexities of sports. And I'm so happy you said that, because a lot of people, when they think of sports, they just think of playing it and not think of the other avenues and ways you can still be involved with sports without actually being on the field.
Right.
And a sports attorney is probably one of the best avenues that you could be a part of. So,
Sure.
excellent answer, and I think your future is bright.
Thank you.
I know your parents have you set up for success.
For sure. For sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your time. Again, guys, all interviews are brought to you by the Carolina Law Group. They will be available on Sports and Culture Sports Media Facebook page and our YouTube page. Austen Cummings, North Greenville Lacrosse team, thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.